It began with a sound thin at first, like a blade slicing through the dawn. No one knew then that the next 10 minutes would decide the fate of the world. Europe had shattered like glass Poland crushed. France broken, and the Nazi war machine rolling forward without mercy. Great Britain stood alone, a final island of defiance against a tide of tyranny, and now, Hitler's gaze lifted across the channel. His plan was simple: crush the Royal Air Force, then invade. The operation was codenamed Sea Lion, and all of Western civilization hung in the balance. At RAF Fighter Command, Air Chief Marshal Hugh Dowding watched the war unfold with cold precision. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud. He was a quiet, meticulous strategist, nicknamed Stuffy by his own men. But he understood one thing better than anyone: the future of the world hung over British skies. He had spent years building an integrated air defense system, a network of radar, observers, and command centers that could see the enemy coming long before they arrived. It was Britain's shield, and Dowding was its master. Meanwhile, in Berlin, Hermann Göring, head of the Luftwaffe, draped in medals he awarded himself, studied his own maps. He was the opposite of Dowding, flamboyant, arrogant, and utterly convinced of his own genius. He sneered at the RAF, calling them a pathetic little air force. He believed they could not possibly survive the might of his Luftwaffe. He boasted to Hitler that he would sweep them from the sky in a matter of days. He believed victory was already his. Across Britain, tension coiled tighter every day. In the summer of 1940, the air itself felt heavy with anticipation. Radar stations along the coast buzzed with nervous energy. Pilots, many barely out of their teens, slept in chairs beside their aircraft, ready to launch at a moment's notice. On the ground, civilians held their breath, digging shelters and watching the skies. The island braced for the coming storm. And then, on September 15, 1940, it came, the largest air assault Britain had ever seen. The raids began in the morning, a relentless pounding of airfields and cities. By early afternoon, the final decisive wave appeared on radar. Bombers, fighters, over 1,000 aircraft, a sky filled with thunder and fire, aimed at the heart of London. It was Göring's masterstroke, designed to deliver the final killing blow. But inside this storm, a flattony human, catastrophic. In his overconfidence, Göring had made a critical mistake. He miscalculated. He sent his bombers deeper into British airspace than ever before, straight for London. Without proper fighter cover, his Messerschmitt 109s, the best fighters in the world, had limited fuel. They could only stay over the target for about 10 minutes before they had to turn back, leaving the slow, vulnerable bombers to fend for themselves. At Fighter Command headquarters, Dowding and his brilliant group commander, Keith Park, saw it instantly. The radar plots showed the German bombers approaching, but their fighter escort was thin, and it would soon be gone. This was the moment they had been waiting for. The order went out without hesitation: scramble everything. Across southeastern England, alarms blared, engines roared to life. Pilots ran, pulling on helmets and gloves. The sky was about to ignite. The RAF's Hurricane struck first, heavy, punishing, relentless. They were the workhorses, designed to tear into the bomber formations and break them apart. Then came the Spitfires, elegant and deadly, slicing into the German formations like lightning, tearing open the sky. They engaged the remaining German fighters, diving and climbing in a dizzying ballet of death. The air became a chaotic whirlwind of tracer fire, smoke trails, and exploding aircraft. Inside German cockpits, confidence turned to terror. Radios filled with desperate calls: "Where is our escort? I'm hit. Breaking formation. Fuel running low." Pilots who had known nothing but victory were now fighting for their lives, surrounded and overwhelmed. The supposedly invincible Luftwaffe was crumbling under the ferocious, coordinated assault. In the final, desperate minutes of the assault, something impossible happened. The Luftwaffe began to retreat, not in an orderly withdrawal, but in a chaotic rout. Bombers jettisoned their payloads over the countryside and fled for the coast. The sky, once black with enemy planes, began to clear. For the first time in the war, the German war machine had not just been stopped, it had been broken. The RAF had survived. Britain still stood. For decades, historians searched for the secret behind Britain's miracle. They pointed to the radar, the Spitfire, the courage of the few. All were crucial, but the astonishing truth is that the 10 minutes that saved the world happened not only because of British courage, but because of German arrogance. It was Göring's hubris that created the fatal flaw in his plan, and Dowding's quiet genius that exploited it. A battle between two men, two strategies, two futures, all decided in the skies over London. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video and subscribe for more chapters from history.